Hello, welcome to Do-It-Yourself with Wayne. Today, we're going to open up this chainsaw that is a Portland brand 14-inch chainsaw that we bought at Harbor Freight. Never had one of these before. I've had chainsaws all my life. I got a real nice steel. I got a home light. Got one of those little mini steels. But we wanted to get this thing to give it a try because sometimes something a little bit smaller than my big steel, but just it's convenient. So we wanted to give it a try. I gave less than $40 for this chainsaw. And part of the reason I bought it, I got a friend that buys these things, and he bought one some years ago. And he said, I used it for a number of years. He doesn't cut a lot of stuff. And when it started giving trouble, he said, why should I spend money on fixing this thing? For $40, I can have another brand new one. That made a lot of sense to me. So, I do cut a lot of wood, so I still got my nice steel chainsaw that I'll use for most things that I cut. But sometimes you want something that's quick and easy, and I thought this would be worth a try. So we got this box. We've never opened it before. I did cut the tape off of different places to make it easier to open, to save a little time, but the box has never been opened up. And so let's open it up and see what we got. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Actually easier than I expected. You certainly could find it in the woods, that bright color. Nice chain. I think the only thing you need for this thing is oil for the chain and power. So let's put some oil in it and get some drop cord out here and plug it in and see what happens. Now after we've got everything opened up, there's a nice little booklet for instructions, a lot of warning stuff in there. I would always recommend that you read through that. Familiarize yourself with all the safety precautions that they tell you about. It also talks about making sure that the drop cord that you use is plugged into a grounded outlet. Another safety factor that's quite important. But it did come with a couple of tools. There's an Allen wrench and a little hex head wrench for adjusting the chain tension. Over here on the side, there's a little rubber thing. You can pull that off, and there's the nut that you loosen up to adjust chain tension. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if this little plastic cover thing got lost pretty easy, but it's there now. Reservoir here in the top for putting oil in it. It did come with a bottle of oil. We'll be putting that in just a minute. And over here on the side, there's a little gauge that'll show you how much oil you've got in the reservoir. I like that. That's pretty nice. So let's put the oil in here and get going and see if we can cut a tree down. Well, it would appear that the oil that comes with it ain't intended for you to cut a lot because it only filled the reservoir half full. But that's enough for us to show how it works. And so we've got our drop cord over here somewhere. Right here. So let's plug it in and see if it'll actually work. Got a little safety thing there. Make sure to, right. Let's see if it runs. Apparently I'm missing a trigger lock somewhere. Maybe my drop cord became unplugged. We'll be right shortly. Okay, our problem earlier was the drop cord came unplugged. So we got that fixed up. This thing's got an interlock here that you push forward with your thumb. When you mash the trigger, it runs. Just like that. And so we're ready to go. We've never cut a tree with this thing. We're going to cut this tree right here. With any luck, it'll fall down through there. All right, that's the plan. Right down through there. All right, let's see what happens. right, it cuts. Don't cut like my big steel, but I didn't expect it to, but it's getting the job done. So I'm gonna go around the other side. I'm gonna cut the other side, and this thing should go down the hill for us. It was supposed to hit the ground. There we go, it was on the ground. Okay, now we're gonna take our Portland 14-inch electric chainsaw. We're gonna cut this tree up, or at least get started on it. So let's see how this goes. Now, as with any chainsaw, you don't want the bar to hit dirt or rocks or anything, because that will dull your bar or your chain quicker than anything. You may notice I took my little John Deere 1025R, my front loader, I put a chain around it and picked it up a little bit. That'll help keep this end off the ground as I cut, so I'm not running my chain into the dirt. So that's the reason that I've got that down there. So let's continue. Looks like I'm getting a little close to the dirt, so I'm going to hold off on that a little bit. Let me see if I can raise it up a little more. That did it. Well, I'd have to say this little Portland chainsaw from Harbor Freight seems to cut really good. I don't have any complaints at this point, except that as I'm running it more, and you saw me cutting, my hand got a little bit fatigued because you got to hold the interlock up and mash the trigger, and I felt my hand getting fatigued a little bit. That's the only thing I've got negative to say, and that's not a big deal. So I'd have to say this is a good value. It's not something you would want to use if you did a lot of cutting, but for a homeowner that just had an occasional tree to cut or trim up some stuff, I think it would be a good value. Again, it's the Portland 14-inch electric chainsaw from Harbor Freight. And if you find this video interesting, please click like on it and share share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel and make it easier for you to find our future videos, as well as locate our older ones. And we'd just like to say thank you for visiting. Do it yourself with Wayne, and have a great day.